Sometimes you feel like you're not at the right spot in life, you're not at the right place, you're lost, you're just stuck in the middle, saying shit, this is not how I think my life was gonna be. I thought I was gonna be farther than this in life. I was gonna be ahead, or I was gonna be at a better spot in my career. We all have that, I think. I think we all go through that time in our life. If you haven't, that means you don't want to do anything with your life. But we all have that little roadblock that we were like, shit, we're not where we wanted to be. I thought when I was 26, I would have a good career and probably kids and family and get married. I said I wanted to retire when I was 27. I wanted to start my family when I was 27. Right now I'm 29. Retirement, if I retire, I'm not going to retire with dignity, so I can't do that. Didn't work out how I wanted it because I didn't invent my greatest thing. I didn't invent anything that I wanted to invent. I wanted to invent something, but I didn't. So I got to look back at my life and say, listen, that didn't work out. Let's do something else. You can't sit back and be depressed and say, oh, life is hard for me. Life is hard for everyone. Life is hard for the richest person in the world. They probably have bigger problems than you. They probably have more money, but they have bigger problems. Always remember, life is a blessing, and you just got to know how to use your blessing and how to handle your blessing and how to receive your blessing. It's crazy when we said we want this amazing relationship and you get it and then you don't even know what to do with it. Sometimes you're in the relationship and you think it's a worse relationship because you're looking at something else outside. Or sometimes you're in a relationship and you think it's the best relationship, but it's really not. Don't settle for anything that you don't want. If you feel some type of way, sometimes, hey, you feel that little doubt, you just gotta jump at it. But sometimes it's a little doubt, but it's not really anything. Setting time for yourself and having time for your family is two different things. I'm here fishing right now, and this is time for myself. Sometimes you need to just get away from everything, get away from the world, take a break. Take a break and just think about you, yourself. Think about where you are in life. Think about what's your next step. Think about your relationship and see where you at, what you can do to fix it. Think about how can you make your partner happy. Think about everything in general, what you can do to just be a better human being. It's not every day you should be hands in harm with your significant other. Sometimes you just need to get away and look at your life from the outside. Sometimes you feel lost, or you think you're lost, but you're not. If you just just take a time for yourself one day and just look at how your life is and look at the changes that you can make. Look at what you can do better. You will see it from a different point of view. As someone say, I'm outside looking at your life. I'm looking in. Well, you can do that as well. You don't have to have anyone look in on your life. You can go from the outside and look in. Think about what you're doing. So it's the first of the month. Your bill got to get paid. Your rent is due, or your mortgage is due, and you know your car note is coming up soon, if you have a car note. And if you're paying a monthly insurance, that's coming up as well. Plus you have your phone bill as well. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna make sure, first thing first, make sure you have a roof over your head. So you have to pay that mortgage or that house or your rent. So that's the first thing you're gonna do. Secondly, you gotta make sure you have food on your table, and you gotta make sure you have transportation, because without that, you're not gonna be able to make the money, right? So you have to pay for your car and you have to pay for transportation. Thirdly, you need to pay them utilities. Make sure you take care of all your utilities, the necessary ones. You don't need cable nowadays, so I would say if you definitely have Dish Network or something like that, if it's not a real deal, because sometimes you can get a real deal, but if it's not a real deal, you need to disconnect that because it doesn't make any sense anyways. All right, definitely to invest, I'm gonna give you a small, easy tip. Everyone should have this right now. So if you do have a regular job, a 9 to 5, they do provide you with a 401k. So with your 401k that you're getting, I would say always always match what the company is matching. So if the company said they're giving you 3%, match that 3%. You don't need to go anymore, because 3% is always free money. And who doesn't want free money, right? So you match at 3%. But if you're big balling now and you have that big money, you can always take out our IRA, a Roth IRA, and just another Roth that you can take out. You can take out your company 401k Roth. The Roth is really good. I'm going to give you a small detail on the Roth, what it does. Listen again, it's not what you make, it's what you invest and what you save. You can make $10,000 for the month, but if you have a lifestyle that costs you $10,000, you ain't better than the guy that's making $7 an hour. Always remember that. The good thing about the Roth IRA or the Roth 401k, you pay the taxes now. You don't know what tax is going to be 50 years from now. It's going to be way higher. As you can see, nothing goes down in this day and age. So I always recommend to do Roth, because when you do that, you pay the taxes that you're in right now. The only thing I would recommend why you don't do the Roth, unless you're making a ton of money. If you're making a ton of money and you're in a higher tax bracket, I wouldn't recommend doing it now, because guess what? When you reach like say you're 50 something and you do decide to retire, you're not going to have an income, and that time the amount of tax that they're going to take out, it's not going to be that much, because your income ratio is going to be less, so they got to tax it less. So that's why I would say don't do the Roth right now. If you know you're making at least 250,000, or you're making over the 100 and something thousand, yeah, the tax bracket is probably going to be a little bit high for you. So maybe you can just wait off on that. With the IRAs, you can always do IRAs if you're making a lot of money, your IRA and your company match. But what I would recommend is do your company match and your IRA separate, a Roth IRA separate that you're going to do, because you can only put I think it's $6,000 in that for the year. So you put $6,000 in that for the year, and then that's your cap you can put in there. So with Roth, you pay the taxes right now, so your money is going to get tax free when you're taking it out. So when you're like 59 and a half, then you start to take this money out. But let me tell you this, the good thing about Roth IRA, you can take out that money whenever you need it, but it's good to leave it for 5 years. With that 5 years, it'll save you. It does have a few penalty. The penalty that it does have, if you make money on the Roth, you can take that money out without getting a penalty, but you can take out your original amount that you put into this Roth without getting a penalty. And that's really good. It's basically like a savings, but not a savings. You still get to take out some money and make some, and still have whatever you make, you leave that in there that can make some money. Remember, I am not your financial advisor. I'm just a friendly guy on the internet trying to educate you. So always do your research for yourself.